Hello everyone. So in today's topic we are going to discuss about the endocrine glands. So glands are important organs located throughout the body. We have hundreds of small bean-shaped glands all over the body. So glands are a group of epithelial cells. They join together to form a glands. They produce and release specialized secretions that perform certain functions. So these glands produce certain secretions and each one of the secretions have certain functions. There are also organs that contains endocrine tissue and they act as a gland. So the organs which are containing the endocrine tissue, they also act as a endocrine glands. So they also act as a gland. So we can see that mainly happens in the endocrine gland. So we can see what are the organs that are acting as a endocrine glands. So types of glands. Glands are classified into two types. They are the endocrine and the exocrine glands. So last topic we discussed about the exocrine glands. So the exocrine glands produce certain secretions like tears, saliva, sweat, so etc. We saw that. So they are having duct. So that is the main difference between the endocrine and the exocrine. So endocrine glands are ductless glands. So duct in the sense a small tube. So this is being absent in the endocrine glands and are a part of your endocrine system. They make hormones and release them into your bloodstream. So the endocrine glands produces hormones and the exocrine gland produces certain secretions. So these hormones control a number of important functions in your body. So these hormones which are released in the bloodstream having certain functions in your body, they are the growth and the development, the metabolism. The metabolism in the sense it is a chemical changes which is happening in our body like digestion, respiration. What are the chemical changes which is happening? That is called as the metabolism. The mood and the reproduction. All these things are happening by this hormones generated by this endocrine glands. So your endocrine glands include the adrenal glands, pituitary glands, hypothalamus, thyroid and the parathyroid, pineal gland, thymus. There are also organs that contain endocrine tissue and act as a gland. These include the pancreas, kidneys, ovaries and testes. So these are the 10 things which are the endocrine glands. So in this picture you can see major endocrine glands. So the adrenal glands is situated above the kidney. The pituitary gland which is in the brain, the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus, they are a part of the brain. Here you can see the hypothalamus. The thyroid and the parathyroid. The thyroid and the parathyroid both are situated here. So the parathyroid is the one which is embedded in the thyroid. So there are 4 small dots in the thyroid. That is the parathyroid. So thyroid and the parathyroid. The pineal gland is also situated in the brain. And the thymus gland, which is located between the lungs, is either the center of the chest. So that is the thymus gland. And the organs that contain the endocrine tissue and act as a gland are pancreas, the one which you see here, pancreas, the kidneys, which is here, the kidneys, and these are the adrenal glands that is situated above the kidneys. Okay, the kidneys, the ovaries in female and testes in male. So the ovaries in the female and the testes in male. So these are the endocrine glands. Okay, so we are going to discuss everything. So I have made it into a simple tabular column. And if you want, you can just add up to it. I have first concentrated the first year BSc nursing students and I have made this into a simpler form. So if you want to add more points to this, you can do it, and we'll discuss in detail. Adrenal glands. So the adrenal glands are the ones which are situated above the kidney, the small one you saw now. So these are the adrenal glands situated above the kidney, this one. So these adrenal glands are secreting 4 hormones, mainly the aldosterone, corticosteroid, epinephrine or adrenaline, norepinephrine or noradrenaline. These are the 4 main hormones which are secreted by the adrenal gland. The aldosterone is the one which regulates the salt and water balance and maintains the blood pressure. So since it is situated above the kidney, which is related something to the kidney, so you can just remember by that the adrenal glands. So the salt and the water balance, but the kidneys are the one which maintains the blood pressure, the salt and the water balance, everything. So these are the one which helping the kidney to maintain the salt and the water balance and the blood pressure. Then the corticosteroid. So steroid is the one which is given for inflammation, because to reduce the inflammation the steroids are given. So corticosteroid is the one which is being produced by the adrenal glands, and the function is it controls the key functions within the body. So the key functions within the body are, it acts as an anti-inflammatory. As I said, the steroid is given for inflammation, and anti-inflammatory in the sense it reduces the inflammation. That is one. And it maintains the blood glucose level, the blood pressure and the muscle strength, and regulates the salt and the water balance. So these are the things which is being maintained by these hormones, corticosteroids. And the adrenal gland, another one is epinephrine or adrenaline. So it increases the heart rate, oxygen intake and blood flow. So for example, when you're doing a workout, or when you're an athlete, you're running or something else, when the body is at stress, at that time what happens? Our body, we run so fast, and the blood supply which is being increased, and the blood flow in the body is increased. At that time what happens? The heart will be pumping so fast, so the heart rate is increased. So the heart needs more oxygen. The blood which is carrying to the heart, it needs more amount of oxygen. So the lungs will be expanding and inhaling so much of oxygen. So the oxygen intake will be more, the blood flow will be more, and the heart rate will be more. At that time, which is helping that the epinephrine or the adrenaline are the one, the hormone which is secreted by these adrenal glands are the one which is helping to increase the heart rate, the oxygen intake and the blood flow. And the norepinephrine or noradrenaline are the one which is being released in the blood, and it maintains the blood pressure. So these are the 4 hormones. Okay. And next one is the thymus, which is producing the hormone thymosin. So thymus, which is situated in the middle of the chest now. So this is the one, the thymus gland. So thymus, it helps to develop the T cells and helps in the production of GH, that is the growth hormone. So T cells, in the sense, it is a type of WBC. It is like a soldier which is finding all the foreign particles, and it is being destroying. It's like a soldier which is fighting in our body. So this is being produced by this thymosin hormone. That is the thymus gland is helping to produce, and it also helps in the production of the growth hormones. So next, the thyroid and the parathyroid. As you see, it is situated in the neck. In the neck part, the thyroid and the parathyroid hormone. So this thyroid hormone, it controls the metabolism and helps in the growth, maturation and nervous system activity. As I said, that metabolism is all the chemical changes is happening in the body. It controls the metabolism and helps in the growth, maturation and all the nervous system activities maintained by this thyroid. And the parathyroid hormone is the one which is the most important regulator of the blood calcium levels. So when you're having a thyroid problem, automatically they check for the blood calcium levels because it is interrelated. So the parathyroid hormone are the one which is the important regulator of the blood calcium levels. So next we are moving to the pineal gland. This is a small thing which is like a P-shaped thing which is being present in our brain. So the pineal gland, it is producing a hormone called melatonin that releases melatonin during night hours to help with sleep. As you know that melatonin is a hormone when, as a human being, we sleep in the night when the sun is set, and we wake up in the morning when the sun is rising. So that is the circadian rhythm which is being functioning in our body. But when, for example, when you are going for another abroad or some places where you have such a time lag is there. So time lag in the sense jet lag. We are traveling to the abroad countries and it is not the time as we are in our India. Like that, at that time, what happens? The body is used to a particular time. For example, you are sleeping 10:30 at the night and you are waking up at 6 in the morning. What time you are in India? Time 10:30. That time, the same time you feel asleep wherever you are. So that is the circadian rhythm that is being produced by this hormone. The hormone melatonin, which is being produced by this pineal gland. So pineal gland is the one which is producing the hormone melatonin. It is the one which helps to sleep during the night hours because a rhythm is being present in our body. So it helps us to sleep over a period of time at the same time in the night. So whatever things we do, we strain ourselves to we strain ourselves to for night duties or night shifts or anything. We strain ourselves to wake up at that time, but our body is used to a particular timing, no? So that is being produced by this hormone melatonin. So next is the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of your brain that as you can see, this hypothalamus and this pituitary are interconnected. Okay, they are attached, they are interconnected, and it is the hypothalamus are the hormones which is releasing four hormones. The hypothalamus, it receives signals from the brain. Okay, so the received signals from the brain to the hypothalamus are connected to the pituitary gland. No? So these are the ones which is giving signal to the pituitary gland. So what signal it is giving? The hypothalamus giving releasing hormones like corticotrophin releasing hormone. So corticotrophin releasing hormone, it regulates the adrenocorticotrophin hormone released in the pituitary gland. So the brain is giving command to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus is giving command to the pituitary gland to release such hormone. So the pituitary gland is giving command to the organs which is releasing that hormone. So it is like interconnected. This hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are interconnected. From the brain, the hypothalamus is receiving signal, and from the hypothalamus is going to the pituitary, and then from the pituitary to the organs. Okay, so this is like a cycle. And now what happens is this hypothalamus is releasing corticotrophin releasing hormone. This releasing hormone helps the pituitary to release the adrenocorticotrophin hormone. Okay, in the same way, growth hormone releasing hormone, this hypothalamus is releasing this growth hormone releasing hormone. It helps to regulate the growth hormone release in the pituitary gland. Thyrotrophin releasing hormone, it regulates the thyroid stimulating hormone release in the pituitary gland. Gonadotropin releasing hormone, it regulates the LH, means luteinizing hormone, and the follicle stimulating hormone production in the pituitary gland. So the simply as we say that the hypothalamus giving signal to the pituitary gland to release all the hormones. So now we move on to the pituitary gland. For example, here what you see, the thyroid stimulating hormone, it stimulates the production and secretion of thyroid hormones. So the thyrotropin releasing hormone, it gives signals and it is asking the pituitary gland to stimulate this hormone, that is the thyroid stimulating hormone. So the thyroid stimulating hormone is secreted and it reaches the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland will reduce the thyroid hormone. So the activity is being continued by controls the metabolism. It helps in the growth and maturation of the nervous system activity. Okay. And now these are the hormones which is released by the pituitary gland. It is a very, very small shaped gland, but it's having so much of functions in it. So let's see. Antidiuretic hormone, that is the ADH, is also called as a vasopressin. So diuretic means too much of excessive of urine, water is going out of our body. So antidiuretic means it is stopping the water to go out of our body. So antidiuretic. So antidiuretic hormone, it is also called as vasopressin. So the hormone helps in maintaining the osmolarity, that is the concentration of the dissolved particles like salts and glucose within the serum, and thus in maintaining the quantity of water in the extracellular fluid, that is the fluid space that surrounds the cell. It helps to maintain the tonicity of the body fluids. For example, I will give you a simple example. When you are doing a workout, you sweat a lot, so water will be coming out, through perspiration, through sweat, water and some salts, everything will be coming out of the body. So at that time what happens, the body is in need of some water. So the body will release, the pituitary gland understands it and it releases the antidiuretic hormone. So it helps to retain some amount of water inside the body, because the body is in some need of water, and it also helps in retaining some glucose, small salt, everything within the body to maintain the tonicity, because our body needs some tonicity, because as you see that a body is very soft, supple, and it is very soft in texture, everything, because a tone is being present in our body. So because of the presence of water, the fluid, because of the fluid that is in the extracellular space, that is causing a tonicity in the body fluid. So the antidiuretic hormone is the one which helps in maintaining the tonicity of the body fluids by retaining some amount of water and the salts within our body. Okay, so this is the For example, you imagine that you're doing a strong workout. So that is the example for this antidiuretic hormone. So next is the adrenocorticotrophin hormone. As you see that the corticotrophin releasing hormone, it regulates the adrenocorticotrophin hormone released in the pituitary gland. So this hormone, it stimulates the adrenocorticotrophic hormone, and the pituitary gland is producing ACTH. So what happens is it controls the production of the sex hormones, that is the estrogen in women and testosterone in men, and therefore the production of eggs in women and sperm in men. So the adrenocorticotrophic hormone, it controls the production of the sex hormone, that is the sex hormones are the sense estrogen in women and the testosterone in men, and these are the one which is producing eggs in women and the sperm in men. Okay, next one is the pituitary gland, that is the growth hormone. So as you see, the growth hormone releasing hormone will stimulate the growth hormone in the pituitary gland. It helps in the growth and development and stimulates the protein production and helps in fat distribution. So protein is the main building blocks of the body. So this is the one which is giving a mass to that's the weight to the body. So it stimulates that one, and it helps in fat distribution. So as we see that whatever we are eating, the fat is being distributed everywhere throughout the body. So that is being maintained by this growth hormone. And the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. So the gonadotrophin releasing hormone, it regulates the LH and the FH production in the pituitary gland. So the hypothalamus is releasing gonadotrophin releasing hormone, and the pituitary will produce the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. The luteinizing hormone helps in releasing the egg during ovulation. So during the ovulation in female, the egg is being released. So that is being happening by this luteinizing hormone. Sometimes, if the fertilization occurs, the luteinizing hormone will stimulate the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone to sustain pregnancy. So sometimes this egg is being fused with the sperm and the embryo is being formed. At that time, what happens? This luteinizing hormone will stimulate the corpus luteum and it produces progesterone. The progesterone is the main hormone to sustain pregnancy. Otherwise, the abortion or the miscarriage will happen. So the progesterone, if the progesterone levels are high, the pregnancy will be sustained. So in male, it causes the testicles to produce testosterone, which helps in the production of sperm. So testicles, it produces the testosterone hormone and it helps in the production of the sperm. And the last two of the pituitary is the oxytocin and the prolactin. So oxytocin, what happens is stimulates the contraction of the uterus. As you know, some of them may be aware, it lasts at the time of labor. What they give, the oxytocin is being given because the contraction of uterus, to stimulate the contraction of uterus. But normally, generally, by nature, pituitary gland is the one which produces the oxytocin. Synthetically, they prepare and they give at the time of labor to stimulate the contraction of uterus. Okay, and it also causes the let down reflex or milk ejection reflex and helps to free flow of milk already in the breast. So at the time of delivery, the contraction of uterus happen, but at the time of after delivery to nurse a baby, what happens? The let down reflex or milk ejection reflex is being happen because the milk is already in the breast, but free flow of milk is not there. But when the oxytocin is being present, the free flow of milk will be there. The oxytocin will help in that. So next one is the prolactin. It helps in the development of mammary gland and milk production. So mammary gland, the breast, the mammary, it helps in the development and it also called in the milk production. So prolactin will produce the milk and oxytocin will help in the free flow of the milk from the breast. So this is the glands. And last one, these are the glands, the organs which act as a gland because of the endocrine tissue. First itself we saw, no? So these are the four things: the ovaries, testes, kidneys and the pancreas. So ovaries are the one which produces estrogen and the progesterone. So estrogen, it develop and maintain the female reproductive organs. So this happens at the time of puberty. So in female child, the estrogen hormones will rise and the female reproductive organs will develop and the changes in breast will happen, and it controls the uterine lining during the menstrual cycle. What happens? The estrogen hormone will be high. Okay, the progesterone, it stimulates the lining of the uterus for fertilization, or as I told, progesterone, which helps to sustain the pregnancy. So it helps in the lining of the uterus for fertilization, for everything it helps, and it prepares the breast for milk production. So after that, what happens at the time of pregnancy is that it helps in the it prepares the best, okay, for size, shape, everything. It prepares the best for milk production, the progesterone hormone. The testes or testicles, it produces the hormone testosterone, develop and maintain the male sexual characters and maturation. So this is the one for male it happens, okay. So kidneys it produce renin and angiotensin and erythropoietin. These are the two hormones, renin and angiotensin. It regulates the blood pressure and electrolyte balance, and also by regulating aldosterone production from the adrenal glands. So the BP, the kidneys are the one which helps in the blood pressure, regulate the blood pressure and electrolyte balance. And also, as we saw that the adrenal glands, a small one which is situated above the kidney, that produces the hormone aldosterone, that is being regulated by this kidneys, the renin and angiotensin, okay. So the kidneys also produces erythropoietin. It helps in the RBC, red blood cell production. So erythro means RBC, red blood cell production, okay. Last one is the pancreas. The two things are being produced, that is the insulin and the glucagon. So as everybody knows that when the blood sugar level rises, the blood glucose level rises, the insulin is being released and it lowers the blood sugar levels. It stimulates the metabolism of glucose, proteins and fat. So it helps in the chemical changes in the glucose, protein and fat. This insulin is the one which is helping. But glucagon is the one which helps. The pancreas releases glucagon when the quantity of the glucose within the bloodstream is too low. So insulin is released when the blood is so high, insulin is released and it lowers the blood sugar levels. But glucagon is released when the blood sugar level is low, because the body is in need of glucose, but the glucose is not being present. We are not having any intake of glucose. At that time, what happens? This pancreas will produce glucagon in the bloodstream, and the glucagon that causes the liver to interact in glycogenolysis. Lysis means breakdown. So glycogen is being broken into glucose, okay. So glycogenolysis has happened, that is being converting stored glycogen into glucose. So the liver, that is the one which is storing the glucose in the form of glycogen. So that will causes a change, glycogen to glucose, which is being released into the bloodstream. So what happens? The glucose which is needed, which is being converted by glycogen into glucose by the liver, and that is being mainly happened by this pancreas, okay. So high blood glucose levels on the opposite hand stimulate the discharge of insulin. As I said that high blood glucose will causes the discharge of insulin, and low blood glucose will causes the discharge of the glucagon. So this is our end. So far we discussed about the endocrine glands, its types, everything. So this is a very simplified tabular column. So if you want, just add up to this, and I've also made this video in Tamil. If you want, just have a look on it. And these slides will be very for you to study. This will be very difficult. So I've just made it into a notes, and I've posted it in my blogger website. Just have a look on it. Thank you so much. Keep supporting. Sure, I'll post all the glands in a separate topic. So thank you so much.